Hello and welcome to Summit Sessions podcast with your school counselors. My name is Miss Desiree Skelly. I'm here with Miss Mia Monroe.
Hey, everybody.
And our school-based therapist, Miss Abby Skelton.
Hi.
So today, hopefully you've noticed walking by the counseling office that September is National Suicide Prevention Month. And so we wanted to get on here today and talk with you about that on our podcast.
Suicide and self-harm are both hard topics to discuss. However, they're topics we need to discuss because they are present in our school and community. We want you to have resources and to know you are not alone. Each of us are here to help you and care about you and want you to be happy. Miss Abby, can you talk to us about what some of the resources are available to our students who may be struggling?
I think one of the most important resources for students to have is the 988 Crisis Lifeline, because in that lifeline, students can call, text, or chat virtually through their website. I think sometimes students could be a little scared to use it because they aren't certain of who they're going to be talking to or what happens when they call, text, or chat that lifeline. So I'd like to clarify on that a little bit. When you call the lifeline, you will be connected to a crisis counselor. So these are people who are trained to handle crisis. There are actually 200 local crisis centers. And so let's say you call that number. It'll give you an option to press 1. This is strictly for veterans in the Crisis Lifeline. And then there's another option where you can even connect to a Spanish language interpreter. And then there will be someone there to talk with you about however you might be struggling. So then there's also a press 3 prompt strictly for LGBTQ resources. A myth that's often out there is that if you call or text this lifeline, they're going to send police, ambulance, fire to your house. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. I could understand why students would be scared for that to happen. But that has only happened in 2% of cases, and that's an extremely low number compared to the 2.4 million calls received across the country in 2020. Actually, in 2023 in Tennessee alone, 43,196 people called the lifeline. So it was very rare for people to be dispatched to the house.
We want you to know that whether it's you experiencing these thoughts or someone you know, please don't hesitate to let a trusted adult know. We want to be there for you and others that are important to you. We never want you to hold this information for a friend without getting them the help that they need. We value you.
We also want you to understand that we get that life can be difficult. There's times that we all feel that things can weigh us down, especially in tough times in our lives. And we've all been in those spots. So sometimes we know it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we want to be that lifeline for you. And we hope that you'll be a lifeline for someone else. So we want to give you 5 steps that you can do to help someone in a crisis.
Step 1, ask. Talking about suicide does not increase it. It creates a safe space for individuals to know that they have someone to talk to, someone that's willing to listen, and someone that you can lean on.
Step 2 is to simply be there for the person. I think a lot of us listen to respond, when in reality being there means listening to understand. So I hear that you're really struggling with this, and this. Tell me more about that.
I also want to say something that we learn in the building when it comes to someone that has expressed thoughts of suicide or self-harm, that we don't want to leave those people alone in that moment. Please bring them down to us in counseling or just take them to a trusted adult as well. Third, we want you to get them help connecting to others. So kind of leaning off the last one, bring them to someone that can help them. Just because you tell someone doesn't mean that you're snitching on them in this instant. This could be a life or death situation. So we want them to go to someone that can get them the resources they need.
Step 4, help keep them safe. This can mean many different things. This could mean staying on the phone with them until you're able to help them connect with a counselor. It could mean helping them take deep breaths, going for a walk, making sure that they're not alone until a trusted adult can help. This is why connecting someone to professionals is so very important.
One of the last steps is one of the most important is to follow up. These conversations can be difficult. It's important to let somebody know, hey, that conversation was hard. Maybe the next day, reach out to them, because I think we all know sometimes we overplay conversations in our head. It's better to just confront the conversation. Yeah, that happened. And yes, I am still here for you, and I want to continue to be there for you.
So, for those of you experiencing these thoughts, something I want you to hear is that you're not burdening anyone by being here or by reaching out. There are people here that do truly care about you and want to see you go far in life. If you think people will not miss you, know that they truly will, and they would much rather know how you feel than to have to experience your funeral. And they may be wondering what they did wrong at that point. Please give them the chance to do what they can to help you in this situation. I also want to address that there are some of us here that have friends or family that have attempted suicide or completed suicide. That is a painful and hard thing to experience. It can be very heartbreaking. And I want you to know that you have people to come to and let those feelings out in a safe space. It's very hard to carry on your own, so please know that we are here for you as well.
And honestly, I think students, we just want you to know that's not something you should have to carry.
Right.
Like if someone confides that to you, that they're struggling with their mental health, that this is something they're contemplating, that's not something that you should carry. That's too much. That's too much for any person to carry. So always know that, you know, your role is to help someone out, to see that they get the help, and not necessarily to decide, were they kidding? Did they mean it? Did they not? It's to connect them with someone, a trusted adult that can help assess what the situation is and what the next steps are.
Yeah, I don't think that connection strictly goes to us as your school counselors, right? Sometimes we're not there, but it could be your parents, a coach, it could be their parents. It can look like a whole lot of different people who can help get long-term treatment. And that's what we want you guys to do, is to get them help.
All adults are mandatory reporters, and so if you share that information, then they will do the best to get you connected to the resources that you need. Okay, so we're going to transition. I know we've kind of thrown a lot at all of you, but we are going to be doing an activity at the end of September, and I'll let Miss Abby tell you a little bit more about that.
So our goals for Suicide Prevention Month are to give you guys tools and resources to help navigate the societal issue, but also to provide a sense of hope that life is worth living. So on September 28th and 29th, the counseling office will have a booth set outside the office with sticky notes. And we're going to ask that you guys and teachers and staff write down what makes life worth living for you. That can look like a whole lot of different things. That can be like having the radio blasting outside and in a pretty day, that so many different things. But we're going to have you guys place these sticky notes on the glass windows of the counseling office that signs of hope do live at Summit High School.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Abby, thank you for joining us today to discuss this topic. It's a topic that's uncomfortable for some to discuss. It's not always easy to discuss, and for many, it impacts them on a very, very personal level. So thank you for joining us for this. Spartans always know that there are people in this building that care about you. We are here to support you and want to see the very best for you. That's all today for Summit Sessions. We will see you again soon. Bye.